Welcome to ARTV. I'm your host, Morgan Ray. On today's episode, we have a low-key artist that's joining us from Northcote. Brendan Can Curran, welcome to the show.
Hello, Morgan. Thank you for having me.
Likewise. Now, you're a digital sculpture artist that has just been emerging. You're a bartender, you're a musician. How do all these worlds collide?
Being a digital artist, a sculpture artist, and a musician, they are kind of the same ball because it's about trying to express something.
So how I discovered you was in Low-Key, which I thought was so innovative what happened there. So for those of you that haven't been to Low-Key in the past month or so, it's a bar in Northcote, and your work was showcased there as projections on the wall, you had video on the floor, you had prints framed, and they had QR codes that people could scan and then either place an interest in it, and you would get back to them through a text or even finding them on social media, and how you connected with me.
Yeah.
And this was so interesting because it was a very COVID-safe way of having an installation and getting your work out there. And it was your first show.
Yeah, this is my first show, and I was kind of lucky that the pandemic that we just had was kind of a masterclass on how to use QR codes. Like for something that was invented in 1994, and it was like originally used for manufacturing. The fact that it's taken till this long for it to be used in such a wide area, I thought it's just such a great way to connect with someone because everyone has their phone, everyone has and is able to scan this code and put their interest in to, you know, get in contact. And it just sort of takes a lot of the hassle away from how you're able to, you know, connect with someone who's viewing your art, especially if you're doing it in a hospitality venue, not rather than a gallery space that's made for something. There's going to be a lot of people passing through the hospitality venue that weren't there actually to see your art. They're just kind of passing through that, and they can able to, you know, in a flash, get in contact with me if they'd like to.
I mean, that's like I said, what happened,
exactly.
How we connected.
Yeah.
Is I, had seen this movie, we kind of wanted to drink afterwards, and then went in, and then I was immediately, I noticed the video on the floor, and I was like, this is really cool, and then the more I discovered, I was like, this is fantastic. Now, how did you even land this exhibition?
I'm friends with the people who own the bar. The Low-Key people have been having weekly exhibitions or bi-weekly exhibitions there for a long time. And I knew the thing that sparked my interest was where you were talking about that, the floor projection, they had a rug over it. So everyone who'd been into that bar for years didn't know that there was a cellar under there with a Perspex panels. So I knew that was there, and I wanted to surprise people. So I always had this idea of making something out of this, projecting from below and creating this thing that no one knew about. So for the opening night of the exhibition, it was in two phases. So there was a phase of just a normal lights up gallery, and then at 8 o'clock when it got dark enough, everything was turned off, all lights were turned off, all the projections were turned on, and I rolled up the floor. And that feeling of everyone being into a bar and walking over this thing that no one even knew was there was kind of the inspiration for the whole thing. That's what, me walking into that bar, knowing I could do that, that's what started this exhibition.
How cool. I mean, that was the first thing that really landed for me. Now, how was it working with a bar as a gallery? You said you kind of handed it over to them to showcase, and you actually didn't see it after, correct?
Yeah, so I was there for weeks before, after they closed at 1 a.m. and on the days that they closed, trying to set up this exhibition. But from the beginning, I was really conscious about this is their business. I didn't want to encroach on them by giving them tasks to do. I just wanted it to run. So they turn up to their work, they do the bar work, and then all they have to do is turn on a projector and it runs. Like, I wanted to make sure it was seamless as possible. That was just one of the main things that I was really considering when I made this exhibition. So that's, yeah.
Well, it seemed to work quite well.
Thank you.
How has it been post-exhibition?
Yeah, I've had a lot of feedback. It's been great, this included. Like, this wouldn't have happened, coming here and having this discussion with you, wouldn't have happened if I didn't just have the exhibition, you know what I mean? So being just participating in the art world and just getting out there and doing something has been amazing. So it's been a really good feedback. I've had heaps of people buy my art. I've had a lot of inquiries about doing stuff with them, and yeah, it's been a really cool feedback.
Now, speaking of buying art, you're with Creamtown Art Shop, correct?
Correct.
And I really thought that was cool what's going on there, where people can pick the size of print they want, they can pick a frame if they want that at all, and then purchase it and it gets shipped to them. Can you tell me a little bit about what it's like working with Creamtown and then the printer, Hound and Bone Studio?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Creamtown was set up during the COVID to support artists. So it was to get all these artists that together and create a store online. It's run from a little cafe out in Castlemaine called Creamtown Store, and there's you can buy the artwork physically out there as well. But it was a great it was really good to get involved with them. They were so supportive, and Hound and Bone are just so supportive with how you're able to, because a lot of these artists haven't done prints before. These were people who were struggling. They gave them the spots on the wall to people who lost their jobs during COVID. So all these people were kind of a new emerging artists, and Hound and Bone helped them through the printing process. So they were really good.
Wow, that's fantastic to hear. Now, besides these digital sculptures, which like we've talked about, you do as a print as well as video, they're also in your music as music videos. What is that like? Can you tell more about that for those of us that don't know that side of you?
Yeah, so I'm in a band with my husband called Visk. My husband is the singer and co-producer, and I'm the producer and sound engineer, and we work together to create these things, and every time we create music, it kind of goes hands in hand with the art that I make as well. So during COVID, we made this incredible music video for Still from our EP, and it was incorporating all of these things that we had here, and it was just a way for us to, one, for us to get through the lockdown, and two, it was incorporating what I love to do, which is make digital things, make digital music, make digital art. Yeah, it was really exciting.
Oh, it's fantastic what you're doing. Now, you said digital art. NFTs are a hot topic right now. Is that something you would get into? Absolutely,
yeah. I'm definitely looking into NFTs at the moment, and it's kind of funny. I was doing this before NFTs. I haven't even knew what NFTs were, and looking back, I was doing the things that I'm creating, the art I like to create. Small videos with sound is pretty much the perfect NFT article. So I'm definitely looking into that. Just doing my research first, just making sure that I don't make some mistakes.
Sure, there's a lot of different views on it right now, and from a sustainability perspective or for who's owning it. So
I want to make sure I'm definitely know what's going on in that space.
How can we reach out to you to get in touch?
Yeah, so you can find my work at Instagram, which is brendan_k.curran. All my art's in there.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Brendan.
No worries, thanks.
Now, I really liked the interview with Brendan because he's that little gallery or where he's set up through his mates who own a pub, and he mixes art with music. I really like that. I'm thinking about doing that too, but yeah, it was really interesting.
Yeah, to see an artist use a hospitality space as a gallery post-COVID, I mean, this could be something that could work quite well for the artistic community going further.
Yeah, and it's the other thing too, because he's found the location, he knows the owners, and it's a sort of, it's not up front, so you've got to be in the know. So in a way, good on him for finding a place to support him. Because I've seen a lot of artists interviewed over last year who did get support, not always monetary, either financial, that's good, but I'm really impressed with Renew, who are doing things in Port Phillip. There's a couple of my friends have rented shops.
Well, and you just mentioned council and the city of Port Phillip, and I'm working with them on the Live on Mars series.
I saw that,
Yeah, so we're doing some public performances throughout the city of Port Phillip. And the mayor, Louise Crawford, will be here next month as well. And for other artists, Linden Art Space, Linden New Art, but their art space is open for proposals. So anyone that's looking to have their own exhibition, that's something that they should apply for. That ends May 31st.
It's up for the next show.
Next show, we have a local artist that is featured at the Esplanade Market. She works there every Sunday, and she does these beautiful watercolors. She's Chinese, lives here, and she studied business once she got into the arts because she's like, I gotta know how to sell this. So she'll have some very great tips for those starting out, like you.
I love supporting these little market stalls because it's all art in the end of the day. And you just never know, you know, how that little stall can lead to distribution deals or you know, nice exhibitions, nice big ones possibly in new galleries, such as Lyndon.
That's it for this week.
If you'd like to get in touch with us, just shoot us an email at ideas@studioemedia.com.au.
See you next time.